Okay, start. Yes, 11th class, chapter 7 we were doing source documents, and in the previous class we did only the meaning of the source documents and a few examples with detailed explanation of the source documents. Okay, so what we did, I am just giving a quick recap. Cash memo, meaning of source documents, the documents where the transaction is entered first. Firstly, at the time of happening of the event, actually the transaction is entered. So that is the source document. So they are also known as supporting documents because they will be supporting the recording function of the accounting process. Then cash memo, examples, it is prepared in 2 copies and it is prepared when cash sales are there. Okay, this was the format of the cash memo. Then invoice or bill, it is prepared when the goods are sold on credit. And again, it is also prepared in 2 copies. 1 copy, that is the original copy given to the buyer, and 1 copy is kept with the seller for his future records. Then receipt, when we are making payment, we are receiving the payment from our customer, then we are issuing the receipt to the customer. So that is an acknowledgement that we have received the amount. It is also prepared in 2 copies. One is given to the person, to the payer, and the other one is kept. And pay-in slip, normally this document, source document, is used for the banking transactions. Whenever we need to deposit cash or check with the bank, then we are using this pay-in slip. And I told you that you have to try to fill the pay-in slip. So have you tried it or not? And I have explained each and every point of pay-in slip, that how to fill it. And one part, the smaller part of this pay-in slip, is known as counterfoil, and it is given back by the banker to the customer. So that is a proof with the customer, and the big part is a proof with the banker. Then check also I explain in detail that how to fill the check, types of checks, cross check, bearer check, each and everything I have told you. So which is the safest mode of check, cross check or bearer check? Please tell me, which check is safer one, cross check or bearer check? Yes, very good, Ajay. Cross check. Cross check means we are just putting two parallel lines at the corner or left hand side corner of the check, and that make assure that the check amount will be deposited only in the account of the person whose name is written on the check, so that the check cannot be encashed. You cannot get cash in return of that check. Amount will be deposited only in the account whose name is written at the face of the check. So now we will be doing last two types of source document, then we'll start with the next topic. So last two types of source documents are left, that is the debit note and credit note. These two are the source documents which can be used specifically for the businessman only, because paying slip and checks can be used by anyone, receipt can be used by anyone, because check as a household we can use, paying slip as a household we can use. But debit note and credit note are two type of source document which can be specifically used only for the business purposes. So debit note is a note which is made out evidencing that a debit has been made to the account of the party named in the debit note. What does it mean? So whenever we have to debit someone, suppose earlier we have to sold the goods to Mr. X, and instead of telling we have sold the goods at rupees 5,000, but actually the cost of the goods was rupees 5,500. So later on we told him that we have made a wrong bill. So in that case, Mr. X was debited with 5,000, but we have to debit him with 5,500. So for rest of the 500, we are going to make a note. That note will be known as debit note, because Mr. X, in this note we will be debiting Mr. X. Okay, so this is the format of the debit note. Mostly it is prepared by the seller of the goods, and when it will be prepared, then when he finds that his goods have been invoiced for less amount, means by mistake he has made the bill of lesser amount, then he is preparing the debit note. So a purchaser of goods will make a debit note if the goods have been over invoiced, or he has returned the goods, or the seller has allowed a lower discount, etc. So it is not necessary that only the seller will be making the debit note. The buyer also can make the debit note. Suppose in the case of seller, the goods are lower priced, and in the case of buyer, it may happen that the goods are overpriced. So in that case, he will be preparing the debit note and he will be debiting the creditor in his book. Okay, and if goods are lower priced, then the debit note will be prepared by the seller by debiting the buyer. And if goods are overpriced, then the debit note will be prepared by the purchaser, or by the buyer by debiting the creditor. Because if the goods are overpriced, it means in future he need to pay lesser amount to the creditor. So that's why this note will be prepared. And this is the format of the debit note. You need not to learn to prepare debit note because it is just a theoretical question. In numericals, it will be not used. So here is the name of the businessman along with the address, name of the business along with the address, and in the center we need to write debit note. Then at the left hand side corner, always exclusively reserved for date in each and every source document. Then here we have to write the note number, whatever the note number is there. Then we have to write against the party name to whom we are making the against whom we are making the debit note. Suppose Messrs High and Low New Delhi Limited, it is our debtor. So we need to write the mention. And goods returned as per delivery. Suppose we are returning goods. Goods were not up to mark. We are the buyer. So this debit note is prepared by the buyer. So we are returning the goods to the seller. So in this case, seller amount will be reduced. So seller will be our creditor. So creditors will be reduced. So we have to debit the creditors. So here the creditors are debited by issuing a debit note. And here we have to mention the reason. If the goods are overpriced, underpriced, so whatever the reason is there, we have to mention here. Goods returned as per delivery challan number 93. Why this challan number is mentioned? Because the seller will be making delivery to many persons, or we can say to same person many deliveries will be made. So it is not necessary that every time we are returning the goods. So every delivery is having a challan number. So if we are returning the goods of a particular lot, so we have to mention here the lot number or the challan number so that the goods could be identified. Okay. And here we have to write wherever in the business transactions we are writing amount, or in our daily use transactions, wherever we are writing amount in figures, then it is must to write amount in words so that there is no discrepancy in writing amount words in words or in figures. Then you have this authoritative person or the authoritative signatory has to sign over here. So this is the debit note. Debit note will be prepared by the seller as well as the buyer. Debit note will be prepared by the seller when he has to give more debit to the debtor. Goods were underpriced. And debit note will be prepared by the buyer when the goods are overpriced or when he is returning the goods. Next, credit note. So credit note is, we can say, just a vice versa of debit note. It is made out evidencing that the credit has been granted to a debtor. So debit note is prepared when the goods were underpriced. So in this case, credit note will be prepared when the goods are overpriced. Like we have made the bill with 5,500, but actually the cost of the goods was rupees 5,000. So with 500, the debtor is debited with more amount, 500. So we need to credit the debtor with 500. So for that 500, we are going to make the credit note. So if a customer returns goods previously invoiced, or if the customer is returning good, then customer will be making debit note and the seller will be making credit note. So both are the vice versa to each other. Or the customer is allowed further discount, means at the time of sale we have not given that discount, but now we are making him discount, giving him discount. So it means he need to pay lesser amount in future, so we need to credit him. So credit note is issued. The effect of the credit note is that the amount of customers indebtedness is reduced. It means now the customer need to pay lesser amount which was earlier mentioned in the billed amount. And if it is already settled, to enable the customer to purchase goods or the value of credit without further payment. Okay, so if the amount is already settled, then this credit note will be, the customer can use this credit note in future transactions. In future, up to that amount, he can buy the goods without paying any amount. Or suppose the credit note is having of 500 and in future he has purchased the goods of 2000. So by showing this credit note, he need to pay only 1500. Okay, so these are the last two type of source documents, debit note and credit note. Both are opposite to each other. So debit note will be prepared by the seller. I'm explaining again if there is any confusion. Debit note will be prepared by the seller when the goods are underpriced. Okay, when the goods are underpriced, so he want to give the more debit to the debtor, and it will be prepared by the buyer when the goods are overpriced or he is returning some goods. And credit note will be prepared by the seller when he needs to give a credit to the buyer. So in that case, when the goods are overpriced, so he need to write off that he need to nullify the effect of that overpriced goods, as well as when the customer is returning the goods, so he need to credit him. So we can say both are the alternate to each other or vice versa to each other. So only thing is just to keep one thing in mind, that debit note is prepared when we need to debit someone, and credit note is prepared when we need to credit someone. Credit someone, suppose a debtor is to be credited, it means debtor is to be reduced. So all those situations in which a debtor needs to be reduced, in that case credit note will be prepared. If the debtor is to be increased, so in that case, debit note will be prepared, and vice versa for credit note. So am I clear with the topic? Please tell me. So, okay. So now I am going to the next topic of the chapter, which is types of voucher. So voucher is a document. Already I have given you the definition of voucher in chapter 2. It is a document evidencing a business transaction. So any source document we can say is the voucher, which evidence the business transaction. It flows from the above definition that when a transaction is entered into, an evidence is always prepared. Like we have sold goods on cash, then the evidence is cash memo. We have sold goods on credit, then the evidence is invoice. We have deposited money in bank, then the evidence is pay in slip. We have made payment someone through check, then the evidence is receipt. That person must be issuing a receipt to us, as well as check itself is a proof for making payment. So voucher is any evidence where the transaction is entered at the first time. So next, the types of voucher. Vouchers are of two types: source document, which we have already done, which are also known as supporting vouchers, then accounting vouchers, which are prepared by the accountant of the business. So source documents we have already done, where the transactions are written first time, as well as it is a written document. These are the features. It contains the complete information, detail, how many number of units of goods are sold, to whom we have sold the goods, at what price we have sold the good, what is the rate of the sale, and what is the total amount we have to pay or we have to take. So it contains complete detail of the transaction. It is a proof of transaction, yes, because as it is in written, each and everything which is in written, that is approved. Then it is generally for business transactions, yes, it is signed by the maker. It is always signed by the maker. You can see that in each and every source document there is a sign, space for sign for the maker, whosoever is making it, everywhere, whether it is cash memo, yes, authorized signatory. Then next, cash memo also the signatories are there, on bill also the signatories are there. So it is always signed by the maker. What does it mean? The person who is making the cash memo or the bill or the source document has to sign over it. So these are the 5 features, very easy. Written document, it provides complete detail, proof, then only for business transaction, then it is signed by the maker. Now the important portion in which numericals will be there is the accounting voucher. On the basis of these vouchers, we are going to prepare journal. Okay. So an accountant has within source or supporting vouchers. So whatever the source document or supporting vouchers we are having, the owner of the business or the cashier is having, they need to deposit all the source vouchers to the accountant of the business. because on the basis of these source vouchers, accountant is going to decide to prepare the accounting voucher, and on the basis of that voucher it will be decided that which account is to be debited and which account is to be credited. As we have already studied in types of account and rules of debit and credit, then each and every transaction at least two accounts are involved, one is debited and other one is credited. So on the basis of this source vouchers, the accountant will be preparing one more voucher. That voucher is known as accounting voucher. So accounting voucher is that voucher which is prepared by the accountant on the basis of the source vouchers. And on this voucher, the accountant is going to decide name of two accounts. It means which two accounts are involved and which account will be debited and which account is to be credited. And further, on the basis of these accounting vouchers, journal entries are prepared. Okay, so this is all about accounting vouchers. Then accountant has to sign on that vouchers, and as well as the other person who is the authorized person, he has to also, maybe manager or some other person, he has to also sign on that voucher. So again, the features of accounting voucher: it is a written document, again same it was in the source voucher. And next feature, it is always prepared on the source document. If there is no source document, there will be no accounting voucher. No accounting voucher means no journal entry, no ledger, no trial balance. So it means all those transactions which are business transactions must be verifiable. Verifiable means they must be supported by some, backed by or supported by some source documents. It is an analysis of a transaction. Yes, on accounting voucher, the business transaction is analyzed. How analyzed? In the form of which account is to be debited and which is to be credited. Then it is prepared and signed usually by an accountant. Yes, I told you that it is prepared and signed by the accountant, as well as countersigned. Countersigned means after preparing it, the accountant will be signing it, and it must be signed by the authorized signatory. The person may be cashier, petty cashier, or manager, or any other person who has been granted this authority. Then in the case of cash or bank voucher, it is a receipt. Okay, so whatever the receipt is there. So types of accounting voucher. Earlier we did the types of source document. There we did total 7 source documents are there. So now we will be doing types of accounting vouchers. Cash vouchers, non-cash vouchers. Cash vouchers are meant only for the cash transactions, the transactions in which there is an involvement of cash. It means whether cash is incoming or cash is outgoing. So for all those transactions, cash voucher will be prepared. Okay. And non-cash vouchers, as the name implies, that these vouchers will be prepared only when there is no involvement of cash in the transaction, like depreciation, goods sold on credit, goods purchased on credit. There can be many number of the transaction in which there is no involvement of cash. So remember that types of accounting voucher, two types, cash and non-cash. Cash vouchers are those vouchers in which there is involvement of cash. Involvement of cash means either cash is incoming or cash is outgoing. Second, non-cash vouchers, the vouchers in which there is no involvement of cash. Neither cash is incoming nor cash is outgoing. Cash here means cash as well as bank. If the transaction is through check, then the cash voucher will be prepared. Cash does not mean only the cash. Cash means cash as well as bank. Okay. So non-cash vouchers are also known as transfer vouchers. It is also known as transfer vouchers. So now cash vouchers are of further two types, credit vouchers and debit vouchers. Cash vouchers are of two types, further credit and debit. So credit vouchers are prepared when cash is received. Okay, when cash is received. Suppose we are receiving cash from Ram. So Ram may be our debtor. So debtor account is decreasing and cash is incoming. So whenever cash is incoming, then credit cash voucher is prepared by writing the name of the person from whom we have received the cash. And alternatively, debit cash voucher is prepared when cash is paid. So from when we can receive the cash, there are many transactions in a business from which we can receive the cash. First, like sale of goods. If the sale of goods is on cash basis, then we must be getting cash. Sale of fixed assets. Some of our fixed assets may be old. We want to replace them. So at that time, if we are selling them, then we must be getting cash. Sale of investment. If we have made some investment in some other companies, in some other businesses, then we must be getting cash. Receipt from debtors means earlier we have sold goods to the debtors on credit basis, and in future whenever we are going to receive cash from our debtors, then cash will be debited and the person name will be credited. Withdrawal from bank. If we have withdrawn some money from our bank account for the business use or for any other use, then again cash is incoming to the business. And now you need to learn the format of the vouchers, because from here you need to prepare the vouchers. Okay, in this chapter, this is a numerical chapter actually, so we need to prepare the vouchers. So here I am explaining the format of the voucher. So here we are preparing credit voucher. Credit voucher will be prepared only when cash is received. Credit does not means udhar wala voucher nahi hai ye. Credit here means debit and credit, two aspects. So that is that aspect of second aspect of accounting transaction, credit voucher. So don't assume it that this voucher will be prepared when the transaction is on credit. Udhar wala voucher nahi hai. This is the debit and credit. So credit voucher. So this voucher will be prepared only when cash is received. So at the top of name of the business, then address, again just we were writing in the cash memo. Mostly each and every businessman is having these type of vouchers in printed form. So these vouchers are printed: cash voucher, debit voucher, credit voucher. All the vouchers are got printed by the businessman, because many number of vouchers are prepared on daily basis, because many cash credit transactions are there. Okay, so you need to just fill the words, but here you are not having any printed format. So when you will be solving the question, you need to prepare this complete box. So this complete rectangular box will be prepared. Then you are going to divide this box in three parts. First part, second part, two parallel lines you are going to draw. And center part or mid part is known as body of the voucher. So here you have to mention each and everything. And in the first part, you need to write just the address and the name of the business. Again, the left hand side, the date, and on the right hand side, the voucher number. Date and voucher number. Okay. So voucher number, you can give any imaginary voucher number, because you are not preparing thousands number of vouchers. So you can give any voucher number like 45, 56, any of your choice. So suppose you have sold the goods in cash. This is the transaction. So you must be getting cash. So when you are getting cash, you are receiving cash, then you are going to prepare credit voucher. The format of credit and debit voucher is same. Only one thing is different, that in credit voucher, at the very left hand side corner, in the central part of the voucher, you need to write credit word. It means this is credit voucher. If you are making payment, then the rest of the voucher will remain same. Just you have to write here debit. Writing here credit means it's a credit voucher. Writing here debit means it's a debit voucher. And here you have to return in front of the credit, just adjacent to the credit, you have to write the name of the account from whom you have received the cash. Like you have received the cash from Ram, he was your debtor. So you have to mention here Ram. If you have received the cash by selling the machine, so you are going to write here machine, credit machine. Okay, and here in bracket you need to write the whole reason. Being the goods sold, suppose you have sold goods in cash, so you have to write here credit sales, and you are going to write here being the goods sold, means you need to explain the transaction in the bracket. So this is known as narration. In journal chapter we will be doing it in detail. Being the goods sold for cash. Why this blank is there? For writing the bill number. Okay, bill number will be always there, because bill number or cash memo number or receipt number. If it is mentioned in the question, then you will be writing here bill number. If it is not mentioned, then need not to write the bill number. Okay, you just write being the goods sold for cash, that's it. Then you have to write the amount here. Then total, you will be doing the total of this amount column, 20,000 total, same. Then signed by the manager, then again signed by the accountant. Okay, so accountant will be signing here who has prepared it, and the manager will be signing here. So it will be countersigned by the manager. It means manager is approving it. Countersigned by manager means manager has approved this voucher. So please tell me, am I clear? So that we can go towards the numerical. Please tell me. Yes, beta, am I clear? Yes. Credit voucher will be prepared when we are receiving the cash, and we need to write here center, at the top of the center we need to write the name of the business and the address. It must be given in the question, name and address. If not given, you just write the name, or you just write, you can write even the imaginary name, imaginary address. Okay, then date, then voucher number, credit, and you will be writing the account from which you are receiving the amount. Then narration, then here amount, then signed by manager, signed by accountant. And the complete format is known as credit voucher. If we are making payment to someone, suppose we have purchased goods, so everything, each and everything is going to remain same, just we have to write here debit, and here we need to write purchase, debit and purchase. Okay, am I clear? Yes. Okay, so debit voucher, you can see that each and everything is same, we have to just write here debit. Sometime this counterfoil is also there with the voucher. So if you are making payment, debit voucher means you are making payment to someone. If you are making payment to someone, then you have to make this also, received rupees. Okay, so credit voucher will be prepared when you are receiving the cash, and debit voucher will be prepared when you are, yes, making payment of cash. So now you can see the numerical. I'm going to numerical preparation of voucher. So this is, in this manner the question will be there from this chapter. Illustration number 1. Following transactions took place in Prabhat Electric Company, Delhi. Prepare the debit vouchers. Debit vouchers means it is already told in the question that you need to prepare debit voucher, but in examination it will be not mentioned. So you have to identify whether debit voucher is to be prepared or credit. So bought electrical goods for 10,000 against cash, means you have paid the cash. White cash memo. Whenever goods word is there, so you are going to write purchases. I told you earlier in chapter 6, whenever goods are purchased, then you need to write purchases account. So just try to prepare it. You have prepared goods. Okay, I am giving you 2 minutes. So take your time and prepare it. I am waiting for your answer. Yes, take your time. Yes. Here we can see that whenever we are purchasing goods, we need to pay cash. So if we need to pay cash, then debit voucher will be prepared. So we have to first of all draw a rectangular box. Then we have to divide it in three parts, sorry. First part, second part, third part. In first part, we are going to write the name of the business. So you can see that the name of the business is Prabhat Electrical Company. So we are going to write here No address is mentioned in the question, so need not to write any address, just write Delhi. Voucher number 1, because this is our first voucher, and date, whatever the date of transaction is given. So it is given January 1. So we are going to write January 1. Then here amount, symbol of rupees. Then whenever we are purchasing goods, goods is mentioned here. Electrical goods means it's a electrical business. Okay. So we need to write purchases as we are making payment. So we need to write debit. Debit purchases account. Okay, and this is the cash wide cash memo number. We are paying cash. For this we are using cash memo. So we have to write in bracket being. Being word will be always written either being or for. Out of these two words, any one word you can write, being or for. Being the electrical goods purchased, wide cash memo number 338. So this cash memo number or bill number you need to mention only when they are given in the question. If not given, then no need to mention. Amount 10,000, total 10,000, signed by accountant, signed by manager. Okay, for every transaction there will be one voucher. Okay, so one voucher, one debit voucher is for first transaction, then second voucher for the second transaction. So number of vouchers will be depending on the number of transactions. Suppose in a question there are 4 transactions, so it means you have to prepare 4 vouchers. Okay, so paid wages for the month of December 2019. So here you are paying wages, so the wages account will be debited and the rest of the things will remain same. And what is the amount? 5,000. And here you can see that no cash memo or other source document number is given, no number is given. So in that case you are just going to write being the wages paid for the December 2009, means as it is you have to write this complete transaction as it is, you can write in the form of narration. Okay, signed by manager, signed by accountant. So please tell me, am I clear with today's topic?